Start off a little. All right. Good morning, traders. Today is February 1st, 2024. Rabbit. Good morning. My SPY pivot this morning, 485.40. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five are still in bullish uptrends. Diamond Dow printed a new all-time high yesterday, although closing inside the trap. That would be the 3/8 trap on the daily chart. Good morning, Marley and Murad. QQQ, IWM, FNGU, and IWM all had pullbacks that closed below their bullish trap. Gold maintains its bullish direction, has closed a second day above the trap, above the 17, but still below the downtrend line. Silver remains bearish and has closed the day below the trap, below the 17, and below the daily downtrend line. USO closed below the trap, but above the 17, and remains in an uptrend. USO just flipped that uptrend about 3 or 4 trading days ago. All right, so UNG still bullish, but definitely having a harsh pullback. Closed the day inside the bearish trap below the 17, still trying to hang on to that uptrend. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, closing over the flat 200 SMA after spiking it consistently for a few days. So we'll see what happens there. Let's go take a look at some charts. Start off with the SPY. We'll go to the daily chart. You can see here's that massive pullback we had yesterday. Personally, I'd like to see this come down to minor support and bounce off of minor support and go up higher. It's possible that we just have an inside day today. And it looks like price action in the pre-markets, 485.75. But again, I'd like to see price action come all the way down to minor support and bounce up and make a new high. We'll see what happens today. It's possible, like I said, we just have an inside day. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Got a lower high and a lower low. Closed well below the trap, but over the trend indicator. So we're looking for, well, right about, maybe right down to this FOMC breakout, anchored VWAP. Right there, there's the FOMC anchored VWAP for breakout. So I'm looking for about 476.41, 476.50. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY. QQQ, probably doing the same thing, okay? QQQ, almost got a 3/8 cross here. Closing lower high, lower low, closing below the trap. Looks like it's above the trend indicator because the trend indicator is still green. And still got a little bit of ways to go to hit that minor support. Again, like to see this hit minor support and then J hook up, make a new high. Let's take a look at FNGU. Same thing going on here. We've got lower high, lower low, closing below the trap. Looking like the 3 is going to cross the 8 there. Closing, I got to tell you, that looks like it's under the trend indicator, but they still got it green. Let's just see what this is. 17 EMA, 252.89. Close, 251.71. All right, so that should be red, but it's actually green. So this is closed below the trend indicator, below the trap. Almost got a 3/8 cross there. Minor support would be all the way down here to 243.27. Again, I'd like to see it hit minor support, bounce up, and make a new high. That's FNGU. Notice lower high, lower low. Coming back to this trend line right through here. Let's take a look at IWM. Here's IWM putting in. Looks like an equal high and a lower low. Again, closing below the trap, below the trend indicator. Still in a bullish flag, but almost looking like we got a lower high here. And If we take out this low, we'll be in a downtrend, but that was where it hit minor support last time. So we'll see what happens here. This would be a good place to possibly draw a trend line in right through there. We'll see how low they want to go, if they can reverse that. And we may have a trend line, a new trend starting through here. We'll see what happens. There's IWM, still in an uptrend. And Diamond Dow. Now, Diamond Dow closed inside the trap, but made a new all-time high yesterday. Strange, isn't it? Everybody else gapped down. Diamond Dow gapped up, made a new high, and closed inside the trap. Diamond Dow is pretty bullish here, breaking out of this consolidation right through here. Pulling back to test this support area right here. Maybe a little bit lower. Could see a MMRP materialize right through here. We'll watch and see what happens with Diamond Dow. So let's go take a look at the energy, USO. So here's USO. USO hit uptrend status back here when we beat this high. Okay, so about 5 days ago when we closed over this high, USO got uptrend status. You see we got a double bottom here, triple bottom there, and we're up in an uptrend right there. Yesterday's price action, lower low and a lower high, closing below the trap but over the trend indicator. So USO is in an uptrend right now. Let's see if they can hang on to that uptrend. They still got to get over this $72, $73 area right through here. If they can get over that 73, that'll be good. But they went up there, and they're consolidating in a bull flag pattern so far. If they can hold this upper third, that's what we want to see, them hold the upper third. All right, so it's looking like they may come down and visit the midpoint and then come back up to the upper third. So we'll see what happens. So if we could get energy into a bullish momentum, that could really help fire up the SPY. So we'll see what happens there. UNG is still in an uptrend. If it breaks this low right here, then we would be back in a downtrend. So you can see right now we've got a possible double bottom. We'll see what happens. But here's UNG on the pullback. We've got a higher low here, made a higher high. Now we keep pulling back. But yesterday's price action closed with a higher low and a higher high. Closed inside the bearish trap underneath the trend indicator. So looking more like a bear flag. But I got to tell you, we went all the way up here. Still haven't broken this low. Once we break that low, we're in a downtrend for UNG. Let's take a look at precious metals. We'll start off with silver. Here's silver putting in looks like an equal high and a lower low. And closing below the bullish trap and below the trend indicator. And back under this downtrend line. So silver still in a downtrend, and it reached downtrend status when they broke this low right here. See, we had a higher low here and made a higher high. Then we made a higher low. All right. Then we failed to make the higher high. So we made a lower high and came in and made a lower low. So that puts us in downtrend status. So silver's still in downtrend status, trying to break this uptrend line, closed below the trap, below the line, and below the trend indicator. So silver having its struggles here. Let's take a look at gold. Gold still in a nice big bull flag. Again, pulling back, still in uptrend status. We have a higher low. It produced a higher high. And looking like we got a inverse head and shoulders here. This would be the left shoulder. The head would be these two candles here and a right shoulder possibly forming there. We'll see what happens. We have a downtrend, but we are consolidating over to the right. Gold gapped up, well, traded all the way up there. So there's gold, made a higher high and a higher low, closed above the trap and above the trend indicator. Not a pretty candle for something that's in a bullish momentum, but we'll see what happens here. But making that higher low and higher high is pretty good for right now, but we need it to close over this downtrend line right there. Let's take a look at our technicals. So for the technicals yesterday, we waffled around in the chop zone, took a spike into the buy zone when the FOMC announcement came out, and we fell from that buy zone all the way down here to knocking on the door for the sell zone. So there's T21.22, T21.23, started out green, came back to VWAP, tried to get back up and make a higher high, failed, faded back under VWAP, and then we had the FOMC announcement. And of course, you can see the whippy price action where we go up and have a bearish engulfing or bearish reversal right there and coming back. So I would say this would probably want to come down and test the top of this consolidation right through there. We'll see what happens where they're going to open up, but you can see we finished the day with made a high, but wound up making a lower low. So you got a low, got a higher high, and a lower low. So increased volatility there. Let's go back to that, and on the 3-bar chart, you can see price action has pulled back to the trend indicator. We had a whole lot of open space in here before, and now you can see price action has pulled back to the trend indicator. Hopefully they can get inspired, hit some of that minor support, and start their journey back up to make new highs again. FNGU indicator. Now, Microsoft and Google walloped the FNGU. You can see we gapped down, so we started out red, and we were red almost all day except for the FOMC spike fake out, and then we finished lower. So this morning we're back up into the consolidation here. If they make it up over the midpoint of this consolidation, I'd be bullish, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. They have gotten pretty far this morning. We'll see what happens. There's FNGU on the 15-minute, all right? So let's take a look at, they did that to me again. Let's take a look at the US dollar index, and you can see the US dollar closed yesterday over the flat 200. Still in bull flag formation, just trying to break up over this consolidation through here. So we should see this. The longer it stays here, the more likely it is to have a breakout. You can pull back. You can see this is the July lows. This would be the October high right through here. And then we had the November failure to make a new high. And then we started our downtrend all the way down to the December lows. Since the December lows, put in a bull flag breaking through the downtrend line, then put in another bull flag trying to get over the flat 200. They made it yesterday, but you can see already they've given up a lot of their gains right through there, so we'll see what happens. They've been up to the top. Yet again, this will be the third time they come up to this top area, this 103.80 area. So we'll take a look at the economic calendar. And of course, you can see yesterday the main event was the FOMC announcement, if I can find it here. And well, here it is, FOMC announcement at 2 p.m., all right? So for today, we got some employment numbers coming out at 8:30. Productivity and cost at 8:30. PMI manufacturing 9:45. ISM manufacturing at 10. Construction spending at 10. The gas report at 10:30. And then for tomorrow, we've got more employment numbers. Consumer sentiment at 10. Factory orders at 10. So the main event was yesterday, but we do have some earnings coming up. So we'll take a look at the earnings. Tonight, we're going to have almost $3 trillion worth of market cap. Apple is going to report later this evening. Okay, Amazon, about $1.5 trillion. They're going to report this evening. Meta, that'd be Facebook, also known as Meta, $1 trillion. They're going to report this evening. For this morning, we'll get reports from Merck, Shell, Honeywell, and Sanofi. Mitsubishi, that's a foreign company, so they're trying to find their P&L. I don't know when they'll report. Eaton, they're going to report this morning. I think they make electrical panels. Ferrari's going to report. And Illinois Tool Works and Altria is going to report. So there's most of your market cap for this morning. For Friday, we're going to have ExxonMobil's going to report. Wow, almost $500 billion, $415 billion. They're going to report in the morning. ABBVE, they're going to report almost $300 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Chevron, almost $300 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, about $100 billion. They're going to report in the morning as well. Bristol Myers, $100 billion in the morning. Cigna, that's insurance, I believe, about $87 billion in the morning. But the main event for the earnings coming up, because we just had Microsoft and Google reports. Now we're going to get Apple, Amazon, and Meta. And that'll pretty much take care of most of the FNGU after these report tonight. So we'll see what happens. Again, there should be some more volatility. We'll see what happens with the earnings calendar. For Max Payne, for today is 487. Not sure we'll get that far, but it's possible. 487, they're saying that would be the Max Payne. We're at 485.5, so it's not too far off. Only $1.50 more. They could go for it. And that's it for this morning's analysis. I'll take a look at three other indices or sectors. And let me go back to this one right here. Let's just take a look at SMH. So SMH put in a lower high, lower low. Closed under the trap, but over the trend indicator, still bullish. Like to see this hit minor support and bounce up. See what happens there. That's still bullish. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF did a bearish engulfing after making a new high right there on XLF, closing inside the trap. So this is still bullish. So we've got, everything is still bullish. We could get a bullish reversal today. Could just get a pause. They could make it halfway back up that pullback, and then do the other half tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So XLF, SMH still bullish. Let's take a look at our transports. So here's the transports. They're still in a bull flag, just consolidating up here in quadrant 4. All right. They put in a lower low and a lower high. All right. Closing below the trap and the trend indicator. But if you look back here, this is their move up since November. They're still in a bullish flag. They might have to stay in here for another 2 or 3 weeks before breaking out. We'll see what happens. So transports are looking good. So I'll take questions. If anyone's got questions, if not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video until I see a question. And then we'll come back in and start the market day.